the next thing I wanted to talk about, because we brought it up briefly, was coaching. And I was watching a video and I thought it'd be fun for you to elaborate on this, where you had mentioned, you said this, and I quote, "It frustrates me when I see coaches throw athletes on stage that aren't ready. You're embarrassing not just yourself, but the athlete." And you said that in an interview. And I think that a lot of people can benefit from hearing what you have to say in terms of elaborating on that a little bit here, because how many times you have someone who just wants to, they want to do it, they want to step on stage, and maybe they're really young too, right? And they get in the in the wrong,
Absolutely.
yeah, they get in the wrong hands of the wrong person, and then they,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, like a lot of these coaches, it seems to be no real moral or ethics among them. And, like I've had people come to me and say, hey, I want to do a show. I want to do a show in 6 weeks or 8 weeks. And I'm like, okay, send me some pictures. Or, if they're close enough, I'll say, you know what, okay, meet me in the gym so, I can take a look at you and see what we're working with. And, I've been looking at these people and, see what's going on. I'm like, hey, listen, you're not going to be ready in 6 to 8 weeks. We could, push that back to maybe 12 to 16 weeks and see what happens. But, you're not going to be ready. And they're like, whatever it takes, push me, I could take it. And I'm like, as a competitor, as a coach, your health is the most important thing to me. And I am not going to push you to do something that is unhealthy just for a few bucks. If I feel like you're not ready, then, I'm going to be honest with you, like, hey, you're not ready. If I feel like, you're at a stage where I'll be honest with you and tell you, hey, if we push really hard, we might be able to pull this out, but push in a healthy way, not push you to do anything that's, unhealthy or anything like that. And a lot of these coaches out there, that's just the way they are. They don't care. They'll take your money as long as you're willing to pay. And they really don't care what you look like. They really don't care, about your results, about your placing. They're really not trying to make it a great experience for you. They just want your money. Like I've had people that come to me and say, hey, I need a meal plan. And I'll, send them a questionnaire and tell them, what, as soon as you answer these questions, give me a few days to work on a customized plan for you. And they're like, well, why should it take you a few days? I'm like, hey, I have to do research. Plan is for you. This is not something that I'm just have sitting in my inbox that I'm going to send out to you. This is going to be specifically for you. And, within 10, 15 minutes, or even, an hour later, they'll message me, oh, never mind. I found a coach who sent me over a meal plan. And I'm like, okay, good for you. And then even later on down the road, I'll see some of these guys and, I'll see them at shows or I'll see them after the show and they'll, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. I really shouldn't have done that. Now, my body's all messed up. They're telling me my hormones are messed up. These are the things that, when you're choosing somebody to coach you, you need to be very, very, very careful of what you're doing and who you're working with. Questions that you should be asking people is, what's your education in nutrition and training? What was your last show? Who was your last client? Can I see pictures of your last client? Do you mind if I reach out to your last client? And if you're telling me that, what, my experience is not coming from, just going to school, it's from years of experience. Okay, well, how long have you been in the sport? What have you done? Let me see some of what you have done. And I just think that a lot of these coaches, man, it's just horrible. They'll just take people's money and just throw them on stage. It doesn't matter what they look like, whether they're, it looks like they're still 10 weeks out or still 16 weeks out. And they don't really care about quality. It's more about the quantity because they might have 50 other athletes that, they're just sending the same meal plans out to. That's just not cool. It's not. And you're harming the sport and you're harming that person in the long run. And, that's just not good. No matter how the person hits that stage, they have a fighting chance of, even if it's not winning, but to be a real contender where people can look at him and go, oh wow, this person looks really good. Not just, why would make this person think he's ready to get on stage? And I've seen a lot of that where I'm like, I'm looking at coaches like, dude, come on, are you serious? But it's just sad, man. It's all about money, to be honest with you.
do you think that social media is making that worse too?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, it goes back to, these guys go on social media and, they might see somebody has 50,000, 100,000 followers and you're like, oh, okay, well, this is the person I want to coach me. but they're not looking at why is there no pictures of your clients up here? Or why is there only one or two pictures of one or two people who might be genetically gifted that's up here? What happened to all your other clients? Why have we not heard about them? Why have we not seen them? People just jump in social media and they think the bigger the following, it means knowledge. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And one of the guys out there that I really look up to and have a lot of love and respect for is Chris, Chris Barakat. I love that guy, man. I mean, he's a young kid, he's a young coach in the sports, but whenever time you reach out to him for coaching, just a questionnaire might take you 30 minutes to fill out because this kid is detailed. He wants to know when was your last show. He wants to know what was your placing. He wants to know what was your weight at that show. He wants to know how you felt about that show. Like these are all questions that every coach should be asking. When was your last physical? Did you get blood work done? When was the last time you got blood work done? Let's get some blood work done before we start, so we know where you started, and we can do it after you start, so it's where you end at. These are things that most of these guys that call themselves coaches, they don't really care about, and it goes back to these guys just being handed a pro card. So because they were just handed a pro card, they haven't really done any real research into building muscle and effective ways of just prepping or working out or whatever the case is. But yeah, man, to be honest, like social media over the past couple of years have done the sports, I think, more harm than good, to be honest with you. I think it has definitely done the sports more harm than good.